just so we're clear, I had intended on including the ERIKA KIRK going at Candace clip, and as it happened, before I finished this video, ERIKA has another clip, and TPUSA put out another clip, and so they're going full offense on Candace now, and so I have to put that all in a separate video. So when you hear me referencing it in this video, like, don't worry, that is all going to be coming in a separate video. But even if I say it's coming later in this video, it's not. It's going to be in a separate video. But this video is going to be amazing anyway. Now, believe me, the JD Vance story about him screaming at his wife in public and getting prepared to leave her, go straight to ERIKA, like everybody knows he wants to, and like everybody knows the establishment wants to happen, because they'll be such a beautiful couple when he's president and she is the first lady. Everybody knows that's what's coming, right? And apparently, JD Vance acts very different when he's in public restaurants than he does other times. But we're going to start right here, because guess what, guys? Tim Pool is now saying that he has been given shocking information about Candace Owens, okay? And I will just say the following, right? All I like to do here is laugh at everyone and make fun of everything. And so, as we get into clown world, where everybody is so mad at each other that everybody's calling each other feds and they're trying to expose, you know, hey, this guy said this guy's a virgin, but he's also gay. And then this one said this. Well, guess what? This one's a fed. This one's whatever. It's like, I just sit right here and go, well, I'm going to make a lot of jokes about this. So we're going to watch this real quick. And then we're going to get into the JD Vance story. So check this out. This is Tim Pool, and he's exposing the truth about Candace, just like she did to him.
I've gotten a bunch of emails. Shocking revelations. And I've gotten people coming to me and talking about what she really does. And I want answers. I want answers. Who's she working for? Who is Candace Owens working for? Don't you think it's a little weird that YouTube is putting her on the front page, recommending her show to everyone, where she says the moon landing wasn't real? I thought YouTube banned conspiracy channels.
You better back off that, Tim Pool. You can talk about every other conspiracy, but don't talk about the moon landing, because it's not real, okay? Anyone with a brain who has looked hard at that particular incident, if you haven't and you're smart, you will not survive a single 1 hour conversation with a smart person who has looked at it. I would be happy, ecstatic to be the person who will educate anybody who thinks like, oh my God, the moon landing is, listen to these kooks who say that the moon landing is not real. Listen to these guys. You're like, okay. Literally, if I think you're smart, it just means you've never looked at it, okay? There are no smart people that have looked at this and still believe it's real, okay?
What's going on? Don't you think it's just a little weird that her own lawyers work in the same building as the feds? That doesn't make sense. Why would Candace hire lawyers who work in a federal building, or who work in an office building with feds, I should say? It's a little weird, isn't it?
He doesn't like the timing either. He just doesn't like the timing of that. I'm sorry, I have to make that joke.
I'm just asking questions. She refuses to answer. She has no answers. I think it's all very strange. Charlie Kirk gets murdered. Turning Point loses its leader. And then she comes to finish the job. She is a...
Dude, I am so here for this, dude. Oh, man. And look at this. Okay? This is Z from Unfrick America, right? People used to think that, of course, Jesse on Fire must be some kind of adversary of hers, right? Listen, let's just be serious. There's no way that they could find common ground on things. It's like, no, I talked to her. She's nice. I like her. And she is jumping in on this. I have a feeling that I won't really necessarily agree with her take here, but I'm going to watch it anyway, and then we'll get into JD Vance.
And she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me?
Oh, my God. Okay, hang on. I can't watch that again because I'm not going through censoring him saying all of these things 10,000 times again. So we'll just get to the end of him calling Candace a vile see you next Tuesday.
property.
Well, if it isn't the monster that you guys created. All I've seen the past few days are these Republican influencers crashing out over Candace Owens. And to me, it is the most ironic thing in the world because you guys created Candace Owens. For Tim Pool, of all of these people, to be crashing out when he was paid to spread Russian propaganda, when he was paid to push conspiracy theories.
He didn't know that, though. This is like deeply researched. He had no idea. They were just trying to establish a network. Like they were offering obscene amounts of money to these creators to do like an original show. They had no idea where the money's coming from. And listen, everybody who creates content should know, right? If they come, hey, we're starting a network. We'll give you $7,000 per episode. You're going to say, no, thanks. No, thanks. My normal episodes make, between 1,000 and 2,700, but no, I don't want the 7,000 regardless of how much viewership they get. Just an automatic 7 just to like record an extra show. No. Where's this money coming from? Do I have any creative controls? No. There's no controls. Just do whatever you want. All right. Well, I'm going to need to see your passport and understand exactly where this funding's coming from. We're cowboys, dude. You want me to make you an original video and you want to pay me 7 fucking G's? You can have that video. You know, if you're like, no, but you need to say that no one died in the Ukraine war on the Russia side. What? Yeah, you're just going to have to say that the Ukrainians killed a bunch of children. How would I be able to verify that? Do you want the $7,000? I'm going to be like, no, I don't want it that bad.
Is that the election was in fact stolen. And then you are going to crash out over...
Hold on. When did Tim Pool say that the election was stolen? When did Tim Pool say... Produce that clip. Okay. That, I can promise you, does not exist.
Candace Owens spreading conspiracies for money? That's literally been your entire career. I don't like political violence. I don't want to see anybody in danger. But at the same time, when you spread these conspiracies...
You will not be able to produce anything that you think that you can produce of Tim Pool's because he definitely did not do that. I thought he was too... Here's how I know. Because I watch him and I'm like, he's too soft on that stuff, dude. Like, he's in every case. It's just like, show me evidence then. Show me evidence. He's like the quintessential middle ground fence sitter on stuff like that, where it's like, you're looking at the wrong place. You want to go Tim Pool conspiracy? Wrong. Produce. I mean, like, I'm not saying that there are no Republicans, but you're picking the wrong one.
And make people insane. And then you get the brunt of that from your own followers and from the followers of people that are in the cult that you created. I don't feel bad for you. There is no denying that Turning Point right now is a mess. And it is our time as Democrats to push back against Turning Point as much as we can to stop the spread of this misinformation. Please join us at our AmFest event.
What misinformation are you talking about specifically? Because I just am going to point out, right? It would not be misinformation to point out that someone that was on your tour suspiciously asked Charlie the final question, and he also lied to the person in line with him about what he was going to ask. What are you going to ask? I'm going to ask him a question about the trans thing, and then he goes, can you talk to me about trans violence? Bang, shot dead. And he also was seen on camera rehearsing his reaction, which he said he does when people say something stupid, but he also did it immediately following after Charlie got shot 10 feet in front of him. So, I also offered that guy $20,000 to take a polygraph test. He said he would do it. I said, great. And I'll escrow the money so it's there in advance of you having to do the thing. And then he just disappeared. That kid doesn't want $20K to take a polygraph test for something he did not do, which is inadmissible in his court anyway. Okay, give me a break, right? Listen, it's time to push back on. I mean, hey, I'm just asking you questions. You know exactly where I could take this if I wanted to, but I won't because I don't think that you were involved. But I do think Hunter might have been, but I don't think you were, so I won't pretend like I do because I'm not a dick. But if you want to say people are coming up with conspiracy theories, you better produce the clips because Tim didn't do that. You'll be able to find a lot of clips of me saying shit, but I'll just be like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's exactly what I think. Who cares what I think? You know what I mean? Other than people who are good at backing into where my logic is and then being like, fuck, that probably is pretty compelling. But nonetheless, okay, let's move on to JD Vance. Now, when this story hit the mainstream, everyone went crazy, right? That is JD Vance. That's his wife, and she is crying her eyes out because he's being so cruel. Look at her. He's like, you're not ERIKA. You're not ERIKA. And you never could be because you refuse to become blonde, white, and Christian. If those three things could happen, I might be able to be president in 2028, but you won't do it. So he ripped his sleeves off of his t-shirt, he threw his suit in the garbage, and he became a white trash version of, I don't know, fill in the blank, I don't know, what's that, Dale and Tucker, you know? Dale and Tucker, the horror movie. I can't remember the full title. So this story went viral, obviously, and you know, he's hitting back over the wild claim that he was caught yelling at Usher in a restaurant. So we're going to be taking a look at that because, listen, okay, this is serious business. This is a channel you come to for the most hard-hitting news, the most important stuff, / the stuff that my audience apparently wants to hear about and things I think will be funny to make fun of. So there's that. Also, this drama, okay, because ERIKA KIRK, you guys may have heard of her, related to this story, would be the desired new wife of the candidate that we just showed with a sleeveless shirt on. But is it a sleeveless shirt? You just never know. You just never know. It's always a mystery until you get to the meat and bones of the story. But definitely, she would be the best first lady option out of the two of his current wife or her. You know, she also likes to just flex on girls. She's all, this is my real hair. Did you know that? Not extensions. Did you know that, ladies? I heard your hair's falling out. So mine's not. Look how good my hair is. Even after my husband got violently killed, my hair is still perfect. Really makes you think. Really makes you think, doesn't it, guys? Because guess who I'm going to be interviewing in 25 minutes? Someone who says they can prove that Charlie Kirk is not dead, that they faked his death. And I'm serious. This is what this guy says. I am going to give him a real college chance because I am obviously, like I said a million times, like I've entertained it because everyone's behavior is so bizarre, especially ERIKA's. I don't understand. How are you holding this together? How are you looking even semi-normal? How have you never just like imploded given the gravity of what happened? And then Mikey McCoy not pulling off the act. We've talked about this ad nauseum, right? So let's talk science. I'm going to talk science with this guy. And we'll see if he can prove it. I am going to be very, very, I'm going to push hard on his theory because it would take a lot of evidence to actually convince me that's real. But anyway, so we're going to do that. But yeah, and we're also going to look at this because guess what ERIKA's doing right here? She is calling out Candace Owens. You heard that right. Calling out Candace Owens. Not a joke. ERIKA KIRK finally responds. And not a day too late. So JD Vance hits back over wild claim he was caught yelling at wife Usher in restaurant. I am pretty sure I'm mispronouncing that. But you know what? Sometimes I mispronounce Indians' names. And I'm not proud of it, but I don't do it on purpose, so don't break my balls. JD Vance has mocked a wild claim that he was spotted yelling at his wife Usher in a restaurant after an unverified image surfaced on social media. The image was posted on Facebook showing the vice president with an animated expression speaking intently to the second lady who was looking down at the table. Looks like things are not so good in Republicanistan. Republicanistan. Usher is a liberal, always has been. Apparently, they were having an argument loud enough to quiet the restaurant. Why is he wearing a t-shirt? Oh, like you didn't know that the president of the United States and vice president are capable of going outside absent a suit? I mean, I realize it is a little bit weird. It's kind of like seeing a dog walk on its hind legs, but they can do it sometimes, The vice president responded to the inflammatory post on Tuesday on X at a time when his marriage has experienced a mountain of scrutiny. Quote, I always wear an undershirt when I go out in public to have a fight loudly with my wife. He's deadpanned, appearing to call into question the authenticity of the image. He's great, dude. The Daily Mail has contacted Vance for comment. It comes amid frenzied speculation about the VP's marriage after his wife was spotted without her wedding ring on recent outings. Oh my God. I mean, listen, okay? Listen. Is she wearing her wedding ring right there? Let's see. Oh, looks like she is. So when she's with him, she's wearing it. And then in here, let's see. She's wearing it, okay? And I don't know. I definitely saw one where she wasn't wearing it. She's wearing it there. Every time she's with him, she seems to be wearing it. Nasty whisperings about the Vance marriage first began in October following a tight hug the VP gave to Charlie Kirk's wife at a memorial event for her husband. I think that was more ERIKA, who slid her hand somewhere it shouldn't have been, right behind his head with a little tickle to the back of his neck, At that same event, Vance told the audience that he pleaded with Usher to convert from Hinduism to Catholicism, only fueling the rumors about their marriage. Vance responded to the sensational claims last week in an interview where he poured cold water about the claims about her not wearing a ring while admitting that family life was not always easy in the public spotlight. Yeah, I know. Look at Michelle Obama. As soon as he's out of office, she's like, gosh, how can I contribute to the future of our family? She's like, I know what I'm going to do. This, my husband, who's like globally beloved, I'm going to start doing podcasts and talking about how hard my life is and how much he's actually not that cool. He's not that cool. One of the most popular presidents of all time. Certainly a person that even, moderate Republicans who are being honest with themselves can watch and go, he's very presidential. I like that, very presidential. She's like, he's not presidential. He's not. Okay. He's nothing special. And if I would have been given the same opportunities he was given because he's a man, I would have been the special one, but I'm not. And so I struggle with depression. My children have to be worried about getting shot by the police. And that's because they're black. Plain and simple. This is a really realistic thing for me to be concerned about. The Secret Service that's with them all the time does not mean that some racist white cops that are running around Martha's Vineyard all the time are not just going to pick them out and be like, look at that black, and shoot my children. I have to sleep and I have to live with that fear all the time. Barack is not that cool. He sucks at cooking, and he's not really even that charming or funny when the cameras aren't on. He's fake, okay? I hate my life. I wish that I would have never met Barack because then I would be... I was going to make a bad joke there, dude. I don't like to buy into rumors that are not founded, Brigitte Macron. What? Anyway, so... Let me see. So a spokesperson for Usher justified the absence of the ring at the time by claiming Usher does a lot of dishes, gives a lot of baths, and forgets her ring sometimes. Oh, yeah? She's doing a lot of dishes as the vice president of the United States. She's doing the dishes all the time, She can't help herself. She just loves housework, Yes. Listen, she's just like you and me. You're like, no, she's not. Yes, she is. No, she is not. She is the vice president's wife. She's the second lady. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so can you explain to me when she would be doing dishes exactly? All the time. She doesn't let this whole second most powerful man in the world, the missus of, get in the way of her doing housework. She does the laundry. She's doing the dishes. She does all of those things. And when she does, she doesn't like to have her ring on. She doesn't do any of those things, and nothing that you're saying makes sense. Okay? Shut your dumb face. I don't believe it. Vance dismissed the controversy during an interview, and he said, I think that we kind of got a kick out of it. With anything in life, you take the good with the bad. You accept that there are some sacrifices, and there are some very good things that come along with it too. But our marriage is as strong as it's ever been, and I think Usher has really taken to it, and it's been cool to see how she's developed and evolved in this new role. The president, listen, I'll tell you this right now. Vance he's handling this situation like a boss. Okay. Like you make fun of it. And then you also do nothing but compliment your wife. Even if you're in a bad place, because do you want to know who it reflects poorly on? If you talk negatively about your spouse, do you think it's the spouse? You think if you start talking negatively about your husband, if you're a girl, or if you start talking bad about your wife, if you're a dude, do you think that it reflects poorly on them? Or do you think people look at you and go, wow, you are the one who's trash? Because if there's one thing that people respect less than a lack of loyalty, I don't know what that would be. And if there is someone everyone knows that you owe loyalty to, it would be your spouse. It's like, dude, you made a vow. Like, look, maybe you guys will get divorced and you can be like, look, my ex-wife is really challenging. Then it's kind of like, all right. Like, I understand that. That's probably why you got divorced, right? You guys just didn't mesh. But while you're married, you start talking about your spouse, okay? All it does is make you look like a disloyal piece of trash, okay? Those are the rules. I didn't make them. That's just what it is. If you can't be loyal to them publicly, and I'm not even talking about, like, honestly, I'm not even talking about like cheating as much. Like, I think a person who gets caught having an affair, depending on the circumstances, is actually less likely to earn the like massive ire of the public than if they go public and just start talking constant shit about their spouse, dude. You know, it's kind of, or even, right? It just shows a lack of loyalty and everybody's like, good God, you know? At the very least, like, the public can look and go, you know, listen, especially if it's the dude, it's like, okay, like, yeah, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. He shouldn't have done that. But at least we understand it. You know, it's not like a conscious, you know, sometimes like dudes are stupid and they're like, damn it, I shouldn't have drank that booze. And I will tell you one thing. I wish that she wouldn't have got those leather pants on, or I would have never done what I did. Oh, wait, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? God, I was just trying to figure out a way to set up that joke, dude. I was really trying to, I can hear myself talking and I'm saying that like cheating's okay and there's no real way for me to set this up. There's no way for me to set, I just wanted to make a joke about the leather pants, okay? Obviously everybody hates someone who cheats, okay? I know that, right? That's the only reason I don't cheat. This is the only reason. If it weren't for other people's opinions, come on, man. I'm just kidding. Anyway, but, oof, man, they look good together. They really do. They look like they're in love in this still photograph, right? But they look pretty in love too. He's just a pimp, dude. I'm just going to say it. He's just a dog. Now, looking at this photograph, I'm going to point something out, okay? A, she could very easily just be looking down at the menu, right? Which is almost certainly what's happening. And he actually appears to be trying to peer over those glasses where it looks like he is trying to look at the menu also. And he probably just got photographed in a moment where his face is like, what do you know, like literally, this is exactly the face he looks like. He's like, wait, what are you going to get? You know, you said you're going to get what? The seafood? Boom. And they're like, this guy's screaming at her. Look at her face. She is crying on the table. This is not a man who should be respected. He is berating her. I can't watch this anymore. It's terrible. So this is a nothing burger. And that's what we got for this video. Love you guys. Bye.